Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Geek Vibes Live interview. I'm your host, Tia, and I have with me a very special guest. You may know him as the handsome hunk from Schitt's Creek, the oh so charming Doc Holliday from Winona Earp, and the amazing lead actor from the new sci-fi series Surreal Estate, Tim Rozon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. That was quite the introduction. I don't know if I can live up to those things, but
I will say I'm a bit of a fan, so I was sitting there going, "Is that too much?" And I'm like, Tia, we're just gonna go with it. That's how we're gonna introduce him.
oh no, you made my day, so I appreciate it.
And before I hit record, I was complimenting Tim on his wall. He has a bunch of comic book posters there, and as Geek Vibes Nation, you guys know we are super into all that stuff. So I want to kind of start my interview off with asking if you were to play, say, a character in the Marvel or DC universe, who would you want to play? Ah, I love that.
I would choose Gambit just because I do miss Doc Holliday's Southern drawl. Having the pleasure of playing the Southern gentleman was nice, and I don't know. I think they did Gambit well, but I don't know. I think I could do Gambit. To be honest, my favorite character is the Silver Surfer. Who first appeared in the Fantastic Four number 48 in the Galactus trilogy. He's my favorite, but I love the Herald so much that I would just want to go enjoy the movie. You know, I'm not the one to play Norrin Rad. Someone else is destined to do it, and I just want to go enjoy it. So yeah, I think I go with Gambit. I think I can handle Gambit.
I think you can handle Gambit as well. I feel like you could do the look and the Southern drawl, as you said. I was going to ask a silly question with in Surreal Estate, you know, you're very clean shaven. I see that you got the facial hair going on now, but I mean, what was it like getting rid of the mustache from Winona Earp?
Well, I mean, it was sad because as we were filming season 4, we kind of felt that this could be the last season too. So each year when I shave, normally I can't wait to shave. This year or this time, it felt like a little bit like, oh man, I just want to hold on to this a little bit longer. But also, it's because I had a son during that time, and I was going to fly. I flew straight from Calgary, Alberta, wrapping Wynonna Earp straight to Newfoundland, Canada to start Surreal Estate with no break in between, and I didn't go home. And because this was really at the peak of the pandemic, I didn't get to see my family. But I was going to meet them in Newfoundland. And my biggest fear was that he wouldn't recognize me without the mustache. Well, I didn't shave until I got there. And then we ended up FaceTiming late that night, and I ended up shaving in front of him. And then he didn't care. By the time I saw him at the airport, he was happy to see me.
Yeah, well, that's such an endearing story. I was going to say, you know, I remember at first when Winona Earp was renewed for season 4, and then, you know, all that stuff happened where it looked like we weren't going to get a season 4, and it was so amazing seeing the fans come together and really rallying, wanting this season. So I mean, what was it like for you with that? And then unfortunately finding out that this was going to be the last season.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the most, for sure, incredible moments of my life. It was inspiring, you know. That fandom has always been incredible. Just, you know, meeting them at the conventions and just their interactions on Twitter. Like, I wouldn't have a Twitter. Twitter is not a place that I would normally like to go, but because of Earpers, it's actually pretty great. Like, my experience is pretty amazing. You know, I can see the dark side there. Don't worry. So I try not to hang out there too much, but I loved live tweeting. It was, you know, and I do that now at Surreal Estate, and that's because of the safety I found doing it through Winona. It was really fun. Yeah, and then when they fought for that, you know, because it was a weird time. It's like we lost our show, but we didn't lose it because, you know, our network was still behind us at that point. There was something else going on that I'll never fully understand I don't know, IDW or something. There was something way above my
Yeah, I
pay grade.
didn't fully understand either when it came
I
out. I
didn't
was
get
like,
it. Yeah, I knew we were losing it, and then they started doing those billboards. Um, so you know, that was the first thing I did. I drove down to New York, and Mikey Eklund, who played Bobo Del Rey, just happened to be there. And I said, "Hey, come meet me on the corner." I invited some fans. I've got billboards for them. So I just booked like an hour's worth of billboards, and we just went and hung out on the square, not knowing who was going to show up or not. And like 50, 60 people showed up, and we just hung out and it was just thank yous for them doing the billboards. It was incredible. Yeah, they were incredible. And yeah, it was sad, but the way that season 4 ended, ended so beautifully, in my opinion, and wonderfully. Look, you could, if it ever goes again or goes, it's very easy to come back. But the way it ended really nice. We got the Way Hot Wedding, and Doc and Winona kind of ended up together. Spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't.
who hasn't
But
seen
if you
this?
look Winona Earp, you know
Definitely were there.
there was a Way Hot Wedding. Uh, um, yeah, so it ended so wonderfully, and I think the fans still got that closure. That's all I cared about, that the fan, because they deserved an ending. The last thing we needed was for a cliffhanger and then not to come back, because they're too good. They're just too amazing as fans to not deserve that. So that part felt okay, and then I was lucky enough that the script came along, this Surreal Estate and this character of Luke, and it was great, and I was excited. And so off with the mustache, and
on with the suit, essentially,
yeah,
right?
on with the suit. Exactly.
Yeah, so you're in Surreal Estate, and it's another sci-fi show. So I mean, what's that like, continuing this relationship with sci-fi?
Well, for me, it's amazing because, in my opinion, they just do the best shows on TV.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of doing another series with them, Vagrant Queen. And these are my favorite experiences. Winona, Surreal Estate, Vagrant Queen, hands down. Look, I'm a kid. I don't want to grow up, and you don't have to grow up on Sci-Fi Network. That's the best part about it. It's like I like I like believing in the make believe, and I think Sci-Fi as a network has the great ability to make you do that, because sometimes these shows, if you think about it on paper, it's so crazy. How could you even think about demons or whatever? But the way the characters are so grounded and stuff, like I said, it makes you kind of believe in the make believe. And in a time in the world where we don't have that anymore, I want to cling to that. So I love them, and I love making science fiction shows, because like a show like Surreal Estate, as an actor, it's because it's not just a horror genre, scary. It can be a comedy sometimes, and there's a lot of heart. And so, I get to do all these things, not just throughout the season, but throughout each episode. My character gets to go through comedy, scary, vulnerability, and they're fun to do, and I like playing. And Sci-Fi Network, I can't tell you how many times I've been chased by a tennis ball and someone with a stick, just because we're making, there's special effects and VFX, and I love that stuff. It's fun. It's just fun stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask, I mean, Surreal Estate has this really cool mashup of, real estate isn't necessarily that exciting, unless you find that exciting. There are people out there like that, but it's not typically that exciting. But then it has this paranormal and supernatural element to it. And I was going to ask if that was what drew you to it. So it kind of sounds like that was very much the reason why you wanted this.
Yeah, 100%. I was also petrified. It was a huge. It was a lot of dialogue for my character. My character has a lot, and I'm not used to that. I've been doing the brooding thing for the past decade. So yeah, I was scared, but I was up to the challenge. This was also my first lead role ever, and So, but the coolest thing about Surreal Estate is I don't feel like it's like that. For me, it's an ensemble piece, so I feel right at home, because that's what it is. It really is an ensemble piece. I find the best part of the show is the interaction of the found family, and I love shows like that.
Yeah, almost similar where you have with Winona Earp, so this found family sort of thing.
100%. And everybody knows I was a fan of that show. So I'm
Yeah.
lucky that I get to be a fan of the shows I'm on.
That is
Which is,
very true.
yeah.
You play Luke Roman in Surreal
Mhm.
Estate, and for those who maybe haven't seen the show, haven't yet checked it out, could you tell us about your character and where you draw inspiration when playing Luke?
Well, the thing is, so Surreal Estate is about a real estate agency that specializes in selling houses, except we specialize in selling haunted houses. And I play Luke Roman, the owner of the Roman agency, and I just happen to have the ability to speak to dead people. So it helps and hinders. It haunts him, yet it also drives him and makes him so good. But at the end of the day, I think my character just really, really loves being a real estate agent. And it's funny because you said before, like, who gets excited about selling houses? I think Luke does. I think my
Yeah.
character does. And I think Susan, Sarah Levy's character does. I think that's why they just love it. I think some of the other people at the agency, they like the paranormal stuff a lot more. That's what they specialize
That's
in.
what they're there for.
But I think the cool thing about our show is that it's not the demons we deal with in the houses. It's the internal demons that the characters are dealing with themselves throughout the series and how they rely on each other, on that group of people, that found family. Because not only do they fix the houses, but if you watch throughout the season, they're kind of fixing each other. And it's really lovely. I think that's the heart and soul of the show.
Yeah, it's nice when, as you said before, you can bring this sort of groundedness to a show that has literally ghosts and things like that.
Mhm.
And it makes it almost realistic. Like, oh, I can believe that there's these haunted houses.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And
And effects. I think sometimes are forgiving. The fans can be forgiving of some VFX, although the VFX on Surreal Estate were
I think they're really good. I think they're
incredible.
really good.
But I've been on some other sci-fi shows. Even Earp, we'd say from time to time, we had some interesting effects.
Kind of in the
But
first season, but you look past that for the good characters and
you
the
don't
stories.
care because if you believe in the characters and you believe in the stories and you believe that the characters believe in what they're doing, you can forgive it. You can forgive it all. So, I think that's where we have it. Because if you're on a procedural and you've got you know what I mean, and the effects aren't good, as the audience, you're not as forgiving.
Right, exactly, because you have to show up every single episode. Whereas when you're watching the story, you're like, I can forget about that. It's these characters. So that's a really great thing to kind of transition to. I know that I keep bringing back Wynonna Earp, but some of my favorite parts of that show were between you and Melanie. So when we saw the pictures of you and Melanie in Surreal Estate together, it was like, oh, great, look at this, a reunion. So, I mean, what was it like continuing that working relationship with her in Surreal Estate?
Yeah, I mean, it was easy. It wasn't, but it was because it's like, I said this before and I said it to her so she knows. It's just the secret for me with working with Mel is I just connect.
Right.
Like I cannot disconnect from that. She's too good. You will lose so much if you don't react to what she's doing.
Right.
Because she gives so much in the performances. So that's kind of what I do. I just kind of make sure I'm locked and loaded and I'm just locked in on whatever she's doing. And I just really act more reactively with her than I do with any other character or person I've ever worked with. And it just works. But she's great and she's fun and she brings so much. And, what she brought to Harper was, I wasn't ready for it in any way, and I didn't know any way she was going to do it because Mel and I have worked together for over 5 years now, maybe longer, 6 years working together on film 5. But we don't run lines before. Some people do, and I'm down to do whatever you want to do as an actor. People want to run lines, we run lines. If you don't, you don't. Mel and I don't. We don't. We normally do 1 or 2 takes, and we know when it's going to be heavy.
Yeah.
When it's going to be heavy. Anytime there was a porch scene in Winona Earp, where the two of us were on a porch. Mel would go off with her little earbuds and do her thing, and I knew that we're not going to talk until this is over. And we got some great stuff because it's just kind of, that's just our process. I just know I can trust her so much.
Which is
with
awesome.
Yeah, it's really an incredible thing. And then, which is great because it transitions nice into that person being your director.
Yeah, I was going to say I saw that she directed that episode. And so, I mean, how is that working under her as in the director position?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the thing is that I'm just proud. So I've got to get over that because I'm always kind of being, because it's super cool because you're watching your friend be a super cool director. It's like, I can't even, I don't know, like, I'll see her and she'll be like this. I mean, people can't see this, but whatever. And she's, God, yes. And I just see her and it's just so, I'm proud of her.
That's so awesome. I love hearing that. So, I mean,
your cat looks like my cat in the background.
that's one of my many cats. I do have 4 of them, and then there's a dog somewhere. So it's a lot of animals around here. So
Looks like my Zuzu.
yeah. Well, I mean, when you like rescuing animals, it's kind of one of those things where suddenly you have a bunch of them in your house. But what's your cat's name?
Zuzu and Squish.
Susan and Squish, I love that. That's awesome. So, I mean, for Surreal Estate, what else should fans expect from Luke?
Oh, I mean, there's so much coming. Yeah, there's a level of vulnerability that I think we're starting to see it. We definitely saw it on Friday, which was wonderful. And yeah, we'll see. I think the exciting thing to watch is who he chooses to be vulnerable with. And it's not always who you think it's going to be. But yeah, he's not just all flash, sunglasses and suit. I think in a lot of ways, that's the costume he wears to kind of do what he does. I think deep down, he's pretty scared for a guy who acts like he's not.
That's awesome. I can't wait to watch that. So, I mean, has there been any talks of a Surreal Estate season 2, or that's all up in the air right now?
I am an actor. I never find out anything. I don't know what's going on. All I know is nobody tells me anything. I literally never know anything. And then hopefully, look, I could hope. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know how all that stuff works. I don't know what kind of numbers they need or where they get numbers for or what they don't. Or I know that the people who watch the show love the show. I know that you guys in the press have been incredible and we've gotten a lot of it. And it's been very positive. And I know from my own standpoint, watching it, I'm very proud of it and I love the show. And SYFY has done a great job of promoting it. They live tweet with us every Friday. Like Modine Wint, who plays August, he's been acting a long time. He's been on a lot of shows, and because we have a group chat of the gang of us together, and he literally is like, I never met a network that's been so like supportive or like live tweeting with us. They're there every Friday night. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. These are questions I don't know, but I've been very happy with the way everything's gone. So
yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed for that. I mean, hopefully we'll get a season 2 and hopefully people are actually I know they're watching season 1, but if you haven't watched it yet, make sure you catch up and actually watch this so SYFY can get those numbers. So besides Surreal Estate, I mean, do you have any other projects that we should kind of keep an eye out for?
Well, yeah, I was very lucky enough that during the winter, I went to Italy to film a movie called Dakota with Abby Cornish and Lola Sultana. And that was a great movie. I can't wait for that one to come out. And that's, I think they're going to try for a theatrical release, which would be super cool.
It would be cool, yeah, with everything especially going on. If we can kind of like fit that in, that would be great.
Yeah, it'd be great. And it's about a dog named Dakota. and it's a real family tug at your old heart. I love it. I can't hear it. It's going to be one of those movies that grandma's going to love, you know.
Oh, okay.
Talks about my Hallmark movie. That's the only movie she cares about. She's like, oh, I love that Hallmark, that Travis. Yeah.
You're like, thanks, Graham, but what about all the other things
No,
that
no,
I've done?
no
And
doc
she's just
quality.
like, no.
No doc quality. And I'm actually leaving tomorrow to start another project.
Oh,
Two back-to-back projects, but I don't know if I can talk about them yet because I haven't started yet. So, but yeah, I'm very fortunate and excited. So yeah, I start work Friday. I'll travel tomorrow and start on Friday.
you are a working man. You did Wynonna Earp, then you did Surreal Estate. Now you're doing this project. It's you keep busy there, which is good.
Oh, it's such a tough business. I'll tell you, as an actor, you just never know when you're going to get a job, or I don't know how I got the ones I got. Well, I'll tell you this: I'm not one of those actors that take it for granted, because I don't. I'm always very happy to have the work, and very lucky to get work I like even better. Because it's not just jobs; they're like jobs I want to do. I'm really, really happy and proud to be a part of. Yeah, very fortunate.
That's awesome. So I know before you said that you aren't so much on Twitter, but where can people find you, say on social media, if they want to follow you and kind of be engaged also in the projects that you're in?
On Instagram and Twitter, I am the real Tim Rozon.
The real, as opposed to the fake one, right?
Ron Murphy, our director from Winona Earp, changed his handle to fake Ron Murphy just because my name was real Tim Rozon. In my defense, I never set it up. It was a PR person who set it up for me, because there was a bunch of fake Tim Rozons.
I mean, listen, any actor who's on social media, you're going to see a dozen or more of, spam accounts that claim that they're that actor.
That I don't understand. I mean, I understand if you're going to try and be Catherine Zeta-Jones or something, but I don't know why you want to try and pretend to be me.
Every once in a while, I get a message from Chris Hemsworth, and I'm like, all right.
Oh, nice.
It's like, we all know that's not real. But Tim, it has been amazing speaking with you. I am so happy that you are the lead of this new show. I hope that there's a second season. And I've just been a real big fan of your work so far. And I hope that when you can speak about your new project, that you think of us.
Well, hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. This was wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you so much.